What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is part two. In part one, we talked about defining yourself and how that creates the reality around you. So right now, if I asked you to tell me who you are, what would you say? Most people would tell me, what kind of job they do and, likes, dislikes, that kind of thing. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Let me tell you who I am. So I'm a person that never gives up. I never, ever give up on anything. And the reason is because I know that I'm capable of more. Okay. I know that inside. I have endless amounts of strength and endurance. And I know that because that comes from somewhere other than your muscle. Okay. That's your mindset. That comes from something inside of you that isn't willing to give up. All right. Even though I know, that my body's going to perform a certain way, I know that it's also going to quit long before my mind does. So with that being said, I'll tell you a quick little story. When I was in the Marine Corps in boot camp, I think it was like the 8th day or something like that, because when you first get there, you go to a receiving platoon where they teach you all the basic stuff. And then it's like after the first week, I think it's like 8-9 days in, something like that, they take you to your real platoon. This is where you're going to stay for the next 11-12 weeks. The first day, the drill instructors came out of the duty hut and went nuts on us. Okay, they're screaming and we're running everywhere, back and forth, boom, 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 doing whatever kind of drills or anything that they're telling us to do. Jump here, jump there, do push-ups, whatever the fuck. There was one point I had my, we were all in front of our racks and we had our feet back up on these foot lockers and we were doing push-ups. Yeah, just push-ups. And everybody is just, whatever. This kid next to me, he's like this, badass football player, real big guy, you know what I mean? And I look out of the corner of my eye and I see this dude crying. He's crying because of the chaos that's going on around him. And I went to push myself up and I made this noise, this weird noise came out of my mouth. It was like, whatever. And I stopped and I was like, what the fuck was that? I was like, why did I just make that fucking, what the hell just came out of my mouth? And I could not believe the noise that I had just made, the sound. It sounded like a cry. And I looked at this big dude next to me crying, and I immediately changed my mindset. I immediately knew that I was never going to be broken. You were never going to break me. You're never going to make me cry. You're never going to make me quit. You're never going to make me stop. I'm going to crush you, and I'm going to run straight through you. You know what I'm saying? So that moment created mental fortitude. And from that point on, I believed that I can do anything. And the reason is because there's never been a man in history, not one on this planet, that was capable of doing something somebody else couldn't do. Okay? Yeah, maybe at the time nobody else was doing it. Maybe it was something that was unheard of, whatever. But as soon as they did it, it became a possibility. Okay? It became a possibility. And I'm going to give you an example of this. Roger Bannister. He's the guy that he was the first human that broke the 4-minute mile. Okay, and this happened on May 6th of 1954. He busted through this 4-minute barrier with a time of 3 minutes, 59 seconds, and 0.4 of a second. Barely beat the 4-minute, but he did it. Now, runners had been chasing that goal since 1886. Okay, the best runners in the world, the best runners, the best coaches in the entire world, they tried and they tried and they tried, but the 4-minute mile kept beating them. And it wasn't beating them physically, guys. It was beating them mentally. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Now, Roger Bannister himself, he actually made a quote, and I'm going to read that real quick to you guys so I don't screw it up. He said, it had become as much a psychological barrier as a physical one. And like an unconquerable mountain, the closer it was approached, the more daunting it seemed. Right? Okay, so Bannister went against conventional methods and trained, his own way. He did his own thing, and he was constantly criticized and ostracized for it. And then when Bannister finally broke the 4-minute barrier, he defied the best minds in the sport. People didn't know what to think. No one knew what to think, and it had finally been done. People saw it, and it made them believe. Okay? They felt it. They believed it. Just 46 days, guys. 46 days after Bannister broke the barrier, John Landy beat it. And guess what? He beat Bannister's time. He beat it in 3 minutes and 58 seconds. And a year later, you're not going to believe this. A year later, 3 runners broke the 4-minute barrier in a single race. And over the last 50 years, more than 1,000 runners have broken that barrier that people once thought was completely impossible. What is considered to be impossible becomes possible when you have the right mindset. So what does this tell you about the belief that you need to have in yourself? The word can't, that's not just a powerful word, guys. It becomes a belief system. And if you're not careful, then it becomes your reality. You're going to walk around talking about shit you can't do your entire life because that belief system created the reality that you're living in. You understand? So success is never a straight line. It's never a straight line in life, ever. You're going to have slumps. You're going to have valleys. You're going to have failures, but you got to learn from them. But you never let them sway your beliefs. Don't ever let them sway your beliefs. What was once unreachable now becomes a benchmark. You see, Rogers Bannister, he never broke a physical barrier. He broke a mindset barrier. Your mindset will either take you everywhere or it will take you nowhere. You are the one that makes that choice. Never accept limitations set by conventional wisdom. If we did that, we would never excel. You can be the next innovator. You can be the next change, and you can be the next giant great leap in thinking. But it will never happen. Never, unless your belief systems and your mindset allow you to. Those belief systems and that mindset that you have, that's the most powerful thing you have. What you believe, what you really believe is going to be the reality that you live. So how are you defining yourself now? Who are you? I'll tell you who I am. My name is Ronnie Douglas, and I believe I can do anything.